I am here with Dave Cushman. He is one of the co-owners of Park Farm Winery out here in Bankston, Iowa, right in the middle of Dubuque County.
Yep.
It's really just a gorgeous area. Dave, tell me a little bit. Tell me about Park Farm Winery.
Well, Park Farm was started by my parents, and it was really just a piece of rec land that they bought in the early 90s, and we're just looking to do something more productive with it. My dad just can't just have fun with something. He's got to have some sort of angle from a business sense. And so
why not a vineyard, huh?
So why not a vineyard, you know? And it's actually a funny story. My mom was buying a tree at one of the local hardware stores, and the guy working there said, well, I don't know much about trees, but I could tell you anything you want to know about a grapevine, because he was helping some Wisconsin tobacco farmers convert to vineyards.
Interesting.
And so that kind of planted the idea in her head.
Why not a vineyard?
Let's do a vineyard, and it's be so romantic. And so my parents started researching it, and they put the first vines in '99 with the intention of selling them to another winery. But once you get into it and you realize how much work is involved with growing grapes and vine,
it's a labor-intensive process.
Very labor-intensive, and especially in the Midwest, it's very. We do not have like a steady climate like the Napa or Sonoma valleys, where they pretty much they have certain things like with the ocean and the bay and everything that really stabilizes their climate. So every year it's kind of the same thing.
Same thing.
Very different here. Every year it's different, and so it's really challenging to year over year produce quality grapes and be able to sell them. So,
and I'm guessing you have to have really hardy varieties.
You have to have super hardy varieties, ones that can handle 35 below winters and can be ripen in about 95 to 110 days. And so, I mean, our biggest challenge really has been not necessarily making quality wine from these grapes, but is getting the consumer to understand what these grapes are and what the wine styles are, because the varietals themselves are ones they're not familiar with.
Right. I mean, people are, used to drinking, Chardonnay and and
they're the big name noble grapes. Everyone's familiar, or most people are familiar with, or they at least see them, and it can get very intimidating coming into a place and seeing all these different grape varietals and just having no idea what you're really what the style of the wine is.
How many varietals of grapes are you growing?
We've got 8 here on site. We've got 3 red and 5 white varietals, and some of them are more experimental than actual production for wine. But
and about how many acres do you have?
We have about 10 acres of grapes.
10 acres of grapes.
10 acres, and ideally, if we had like a perfect year, we could maybe get 45 tons of grapes.
And you're doing most of this sales in-house, right?
Yes, we at least over half of our business is just people coming out, having the wine and the pizza here on site. The other half of it is carry out and then wholesale.
Yeah, and I can understand why people would want to drive all the way out here, because it is absolutely gorgeous.
Right. That's our biggest selling point, is really the views and the unique setting, and just getting out and about and just getting out of the city. And
let's go take a little bit better look at the view from the deck.
All right.
I mean, the location itself is gorgeous, but you also have some really beautiful facilities. Tell me a little bit about your facilities out here.
Well, the facility itself was kind of like the brainchild of my mom. She she took pictures from a lot of different magazines or whatever, put it together. She really wanted it to look kind of like French country and like it's always been here. And so we do get that question a lot, is like, what was this before it was a winery? It's like,
really?
Well, it was a cow field, so a pasture. But the facility itself is it's an ICF, which is unique. It's a insulated concrete form. Where and then what that does is it adds this like high thermal mass to the walls, and it's good for wine making because you can control the environment better. And it's really sturdy, so even you get up here and the wind's blowing, you want to know it inside. But overall, we really are set up like for the customer, I think, as a seasonal. I mean, we're best in the season like the summer and the spring and the fall, where you can be outside and enjoy the whole experience of Midwest.
It is gorgeous out here. I love coming out here and seeing this view, and eating out on the patio it's great.
Yep.
But you've got a pretty large tasting room,
Right.
and a full and a pizza kitchen.
Yep. And then we also have the tower. So the tower was originally going to be where my parents were going to live.
Really?
Yeah. And they spent one night in it, and my dad took the dogs up and down the stairs like 4 times, and that was it. So we've remodeled it to for seating, both levels, for reservation, and that really can showcase the view at any level.
Well, I'd love to go see it, and I think we're ready for some wine tasting.
Okay, perfect place to do it.
All right.